So it's Jeff and Chris. We are here at Unytea in Cicero, New York, starting out a new video series that we're going to have a playlist for in our YouTube. It's going to be Gong Fu Food, where we're going to evaluate food the same way we evaluate tea, and then evaluate the food with some tea and decide which we think goes better with, and hopefully, you know, give you a little insight into some of the dishes they make here, and, you know, help guide you as to what it is and what's in it. Nice. So this is the first one. We had to do my favorite. This is what brought me to this restaurant when I knew I had to try Taiwanese food. I knew that beef noodle soup. I'm a big soup guy. I like beef. Not like a passionate beef guy, but I like beef. So soup, beef, Taiwan. People that know me about tea, they know that I'm very passionate about Taiwanese tea. I have been for years. I've grown more to know about the culture, and when I was learning more about the culture, I found out that one of their kind of national dishes is beef noodle soup. So when I started thinking about the days when I'm going to be traveling over to Taiwan myself, I was worried because I know that they're coastal, so a lot of seafood, and I don't really do seafood, so I got very nervous. But I hear that the national dish is beef noodle soup. And so I got psyched, and so when we were gonna start doing a video series, I thought what better one to start with is beef noodle soup. I have had this dish from here multiple times, and I always come back for more. Chris has never had it before, but I'll let him chat a bit about it.
Nope, I've only had like Vietnamese pho, but Taiwanese beef noodle soup, and it smells amazing, and it's definitely good for like we're going into winter, so this time of year, this is like immunity in a beautiful little gift.
So you have like you have a bone broth. So you start with a really dense brothy base, and then they use a sack of spices that are pretty signature to kind of Taiwan, and it's sort of, a lot of people have explained this soup as being what the marketplaces smell like in Taiwan. So every time they smell beef noodle soup, it actually kind of takes them to Taiwan itself. So like the basic ingredients, beef and noodles, and you also have carrot, you have bok choy, you have green onion,
and then a homemade pickle.
What was it? What was the pickled? You can speak, it's okay. Pickled.
Huh?
What is the pickled ingredient in it?
Pickled
Pickled cabbage.
Homemade pickled cabbage.
Homemade pickled cabbage. So, you know, we took some footage of it, we took some footage of it all close up so you guys could see it all put together, the way that it arrives. And I actually asked, because when you're talking about other cultures, it's really good to ask, is what you do first when you're having this soup. You know, do you take a bite first? Do you take a sip first? You take a sip first because that's gonna get you the spices, that's gonna get you the broth.
Combination of
it's gonna
flavors.
set your palate kind of in for this soup, so
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, just go in. It just has this it's obviously it tastes good, but you talk about tea, you talk about textures, and this one it's so smooth, it's juicy in a way, it's oily in a good way.
You know what I was gonna be worried about? I was worried it was gonna be oversalted. It is perfect, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's super, super easy to oversalt soups, because soups have just a lot of soup in them.
Wow.
But yeah, let's dig into some of that delicious beef.
It just melts in the mouth.
I know, and that's slow roasted. Oh, look at me. Man. And I also learned you're not supposed to leave your chopsticks in the dish, which is
improper etiquette.
It is improper etiquette, and it's something I've done at every place I've gone to, so that's unfortunate.
What I've learned from traveling around the world, though, just be grateful for what you eat. That's like the commonality among cultures.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
Grateful for your food, and I am super grateful for this. This is so good. Going in for a noodle.
Wow,
that tastes fresh.
Obviously, there's a lot of flavor. You can tell there's a lot of very well placed ingredients. Again, that's why we wanted to call this like Gong Fu food, because it really is. It's the same thing with tea. You can make tea to consume, or you can make tea to enjoy. And I really, really do strongly believe here at Rice and Tea, every single dish I've had has just been absolutely made with, I mean, just, it's truly has opened up my eyes not only to Taiwanese food, but other, I mean, I've tried an egg, which I haven't had in 15 years. I had a piece of seafood that I haven't had in over 17 years. And you may say, like, okay, well, what got you to do that? When I've had so many meals from this place, and I've been so completely satisfied, and there have been little elements kind of along the way that are things that maybe I don't normally put on my plate, but if it's done right, then it's more than worth trying. And that's kind of what I always say with tea. It's something that I always, put over and over in my videos. It's just that if there's a tea that you don't like, that's fine, but don't eliminate ever having that tea. Like, don't ever swear it off. And that's how I'm trying to revert myself back with food with that, because there's a lot of foods that I haven't had for years, just out of distaste, not out of allergies. So this place has really helped. Kind of like the pickled cabbage for me is very out of my comfort zone. But I've had this dish without it, and I've had this dish with it, and it truly adds a component that's worth adding to the dish.
All right.
Like, how are you? You've been just like mowing it down.
Oh yeah, no, like the carrots there's two types of carrots. I think the white carrot is called the daikon. I'm not sure. I'll research that.
This is what you call a carrot.
Two different flavors. Oh my gosh, so good. I'm about to try the bok choy. This is my favorite vegetable, so
What's your favorite of Chris's?
never had it in a soup like this.
So I was, I was super anxious, and so honestly, I like some ramen. I'm not that big a fan of pho. And so, again, I was really counting on the beef noodle soup to, like, okay, when I go to Taiwan, at least I know there's gonna be this one dish that I know I can get and love. And this, beyond, I'll never forget the first sip, because I had all that anticipation to it. Like, literally, I had been wanting for months to try Taiwanese food and just never got either the chance or just, never went for it. And then finally, Cassandra my wife tells me that there's this, hey, my friend at work told me that there's this Rice and Tea place out in Cicero. Obviously, then we shot out here. And again, beef noodle soup right there on the menu. It's the first thing I got. And the first sip, again, it's full of flavor, but you notice all the mouth feel that you're getting. That's almost an irradiating
I did not
sweetness,
know that was your favorite.
Slight spice. The sensations that you get from eating this dish is probably one of my favorite things about it. And
I've noticed in like a lot of Asian cuisine, it's really foreign for like Westerners to enjoy some of the flavors. They're not built up, but this.
That's what I was worried about.
This is perfect. It's not like there's no foreign flavors. It's just really good soup. If you didn't even know what this was, but.
And so a lot of people have been seeing me eat here and talk about here, and they've been like, "Oh, what is Taiwanese food like?" And I was like, "It truly is nothing wildly foreign to anyone."
No, it's amazing.
Like things even things that are popular now, kind of in like Western culture, food-wise. I mean, it's kind of everything in this bowl. Like bone broth, is that not one of like the biggest things right now?
Oh, it's huge.
Bone broth, bok choy. And it's just, again, it goes down to ingredients. Like here in Syracuse, I'll say it out loud, I don't mind, is that I'm really sick of tasting just Cisco materials.
Yeah.
I'm sick of
just poor quality.
I'm sick of just tasting poor quality ingredients, because, listen, you can put them together in interesting ways, but it doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to come through.
Again, though, the intention in this is so good. This is like when this was made, I feel that it was made in an enjoyable fashion. It wasn't just somebody who carelessly throwing something together.
No, and you can tell
this reflects very much.
It's not just, you can tell it's not just a basic recipe. Like it's not just a basic, they moved here and just Googled beef noodle soup and chose the first recipe they found.
Definitely home style, fits the.
And again, it's the balance of everything. It's the spices. It's the kind of meatiness of it. But this is truly one of my favorite dishes.
So good.
I will eat this dish over and over and over. But, and again, so then I'm like, okay, good. I found one dish that I like, right? But then, you know, I started tasting other dishes here, and I love them just as much.
Definitely.
And it's really opened up my eyes. It's really funny that not only am I a huge fanatic of Taiwanese tea, but the food is phenomenal. And again, these are also things that are way outside my comfort zone that I've tried that it wasn't just trying out of pleasure and you really had to like, you really had to force the swallow, like, because the flavors, the textures are there.
I'm not like a super fan of most like noodle soups. I'm not against them, but I've never really.
I've been disappointed a lot.
But this could definitely be a go-to for me. It's so.
And especially now we're going into winter. Mm-hmm. You think about going into winter. You think about having colds or just allergies. You want those spices to really open up your sinuses and give you that really fresh, healthy feeling. Like this. This is going to be a go-to for me this winter. I know, once my first cold hits, and I'm on the couch for a day or two, and the wonderful wife says, "Hey, can I go grab you something?" I'm gonna say, "Yeah." Hop on over there to Rice and Tea and get me some beef noodle soup, please. Thank you. Oh my goodness! But again, I was super excited to have Chris try this dish because this is a favorite of mine.
Wow.
I'm glad that he sees why. So, Chris and I are going to keep munching on this, and we're going to hit the tea kettle because we're going to drink the 2 oolongs that this wonderful establishment also offers to go. Okay, so a few minutes later, Chris and I have been able to kind of finish down our soups, and we brewed up some tea. So these are the 2 options they have right now to get. You can get this to go, or obviously if you're in-house, you can get it as well. They're both Taiwanese oolong. So they look different because they're different amounts of oxidation. This one is more of a green oolong on the greener side, so it's closer to a green tea. This one is sometimes called red oolong or black oolong. And that's just saying that it's got more of the oxidation process to it, so that kind of gives it sometimes a darker, sort of richer character. So we figured that we would sip these teas with the meal and just sort of try to figure out which ones go best with what meals. And these are teas that are from a farm of the friends of the owner of this shop. Oh geez.
Okay.
Wild things are happening.
Yeah.
So my guess, because Chris asked me my guess, he told me
make a prediction.
He asked me to make a prediction, and I said, I thought it was going to be the red oolong or the black oolong, so I'm going to try the green one first.
Smell both of them first.
So it's crisper, it's fresher, it's got kind of like piney, evergreeny feel to it, so it's like really refreshing. It's contrasting to the beef noodle soup, not in a bad way. I just think it almost.
By the smell, I definitely predicted the red too, and that was really good. I tried the red, the more oxidized oolong.
Okay, so I think if you wanted a tea that matched the soup, then I would go with the black oolong. Yeah. But if you wanted something to sort of cut it and kind of have the tea be sort of more of a refreshing, quality to it,
perfect.
then I would pick the green one.
Yep. Wow.
But neither one of these, like this one, I was saying contrasts the dish, but only because of its character. It's not that they clash or they don't go together.
Not at all. They're both really amazing teas.
So yeah, this was beef noodle soup. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I definitely give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Chris,
it's amazing.
Chris finished his before mine, so I think he definitely was up there.
yeah. I would say like during mealtime, the red, and after the green. Like
I didn't even think of it like that.
Yeah, I would definitely say like if you're eating
you could
the
definitely
soup,
have a cup
I
of
would
each.
have the tea with the soup like that in between, and then afterwards I'd finish off.
And like this,
with
if you were doing
green or
tea
blue.
with someone, like let's say you and your significant other were ordering food, then you could each kind of do this. You could do the
Yeah,
get
sure.
each and then just sort of try them back and forth. But
Great idea.
these teas can be ordered alone as well, and I do suggest it. I mean, if you're in the area, it's cold out now. If you want to grab a good cup of tea, I know a good place.
Definitely.
So
very high quality, family-run restaurant. Very beautiful people. The food's even better.
good intention people, good intention food.
And if this place gets 1,000 tea orders, Jeff and I will do a Lady and the Tramp beef noodle soup.
Oh, someone's gonna hold us to that.
I hope so.
So again, thanks again, Chris, for joining, and we'll be coming out with these as regularly as possible.
Rice and tea, try it
introducing awesome Taiwanese dishes from specifically this really awesome restaurant that we are now working with. So thank you guys a ton. I'm sure we'll be in
Thank
touch
you.
and
Mahalo.
order some food.